Oi, what's a PT diagram and how do I make them on the computer?
Oh, hey. Yeah, okay. So, PT diagrams, they're maps of elements, or molecules, and they tell us how they behave at different temperatures and pressures. For example, water's PT diagram tells us at which pressures and temperatures it exists as a solid, ice, a liquid, water, and a gas, steam. So why do these different phases of matter occur? Well, in the same way that a ball likes to roll down a hill to reduce its energy, molecules like to be in the shape that reduces their energy. This energy is the energy that you'd have to put in to pull all of the atoms apart. The structure that's hardest to pull apart is the one it exists as. There's loads of different types of solid structures that an element can take. For example, crystals like FCC and BCC, which we can see here in lithium's phase diagram. If we want to create these PT diagrams for some molecule, usually we can just go to the lab with some of the stuff and heat it and crush it and see how it behaves. But what if we want to pressurize it like the core of Jupiter? Or cool it down to absolute zero? We can't get there easy in a lab, but we can simulate it on a computer.
So how do the simulations work?
Well, in the simulations, we use something called DFT, density functional theory. Density functional theory is a way to turn the complicated quantum mechanical behaviour of the electrons in a crystal into some equations much more easily solvable by a computer. These simulations spit out where the electrons will be in a crystal, and from this we can get the energy. To probe the different pressures, we squash and pull our different structures. To probe different temperatures, we wiggle the atoms. The harder they wiggle, the hotter it gets. From these calculations of the different structures for the same molecule or element, we can overlay the energy curves and see which structures preferred at different temperatures and pressures.
God, all sounds rather complicated. We got any proof it all works?
Yes, actually. Here's one I made earlier. Looking at the metal sodium with FCC and BCC structures going all the way down to absolute zero. This diagram actually gives evidence against the previously held belief that sodium exists in some complicated structure called 9R at zero pressure and temperature, and instead it just likes to be in the simple FCC structure. Now get out of my room.